Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we've got a lot of topics to get into today, and I'm going to start with Tears of the Kingdom because I've been playing an awful lot of that recently. And I've seen a lot of different outlets cover this, but I'm going to go here with Nintendo Life. Their headline says, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the 6th game ever to get perfect scores from Edge and Famitsu. Now these are both publications in Japan, and Famitsu gave it a perfect 40 out of 40, and Edge magazine gave it a perfect 10, which has only been given out 24 times over the publication's 30-year history. Now if you're wondering what type of company is Tears of the Kingdom in, well, 2/3 of the games that have the perfect scores are Zelda titles. You can see the list here. We have Ocarina of Time, Bayonetta, and Skyward Sword, Grand Theft Auto 5, and then of course Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So definitely some good company there. And to go along with this Tears of the Kingdom news, Nintendo of America tweeted this out. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has sold over 10 million copies worldwide in its first 3 days, becoming the fastest selling game in the history of the Legend of Zelda series. I always find these numbers like 10 million copies in 3 days fascinating because I can remember the Nintendo Fun Club magazine. This is the precursor to Nintendo Power, stating that The Legend of Zelda, the original NES one, had finally sold 1 million copies. So the series has definitely come a long way since then. And some of the other stats that Nintendo revealed, that over 4 million copies were sold in the Americas, as well as it's the fastest selling Switch game and the fastest selling Nintendo game for any system in the Americas. And if you haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, I can definitely highly recommend it. I don't think you need to play Breath of the Wild beforehand. If you want to just jump right in, there's plenty of recap videos. In fact, Nintendo did one themselves, and it was only like 6 minutes. But let me know what you think. Are you playing Tears of the Kingdom, and do you think it's worthy of all this praise? And next, in some PlayStation news, it looks like we are getting that PlayStation Showcase next week. This is coming from blog.playstation.com. You're invited. PlayStation Showcase broadcasts live next Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific, which would be 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And there are many people speculating online that the showcase would be on the 25th, so it's just 1 day before that. And the show is set to run for a little over an hour, and they'll be having focuses on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR 2 games that are in development. They also said in the blog that there'll be several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as from third-party partners and indie creators. Now, considering that this is going to be an hour, I'm expecting we'll get some extensive look at some games. Probably see some 10, 15, maybe even 20-minute sections of games with gameplay and walkthrough on some of the game mechanics. And there's definitely a lot of games on the horizon this coming year that we could see there. Perhaps we'll see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 as it's set to release later this year. And of course, Street Fighter 6 is coming out on June 2nd, so we may get a little more information about that game. And then one of the bigger titles coming in the next month is Final Fantasy 16, so I'm sure we'll see something there about that, even if it's just sort of a teaser trailer. But some other games that are coming probably in the back half of the year, we have Stellar Blade, and this was previously that Project Eve, and this is a single-player action-adventure, hack-and-slash game. And then we have Synduality, and this is a third-person mecha shooter from Bandai Namco. And then we might see Assassin's Creed Mirage. There's been some rumors going around of a release date of October 12th this year, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that show up there. And then the other game that's been getting a lot of rumors about releases is a new Mortal Kombat, so we may see something in this showcase. However, I have a little bit more about Mortal Kombat rumors in the next segment. So let me know what games you would like to see in this showcase, and if there's any other big name titles that I may have missed, or maybe some smaller ones that kind of went under the radar. And now let's get on to that Mortal Kombat information. We had a tweet here from Ed Boon, who is the Chief Creator Officer for Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm. And you can see this at the bottom here. It has it going down a column this week, should be fun, and then a little dragon. But then you can see the snitch here, who has been right on pretty much every prediction that I'm aware of, respond with tomorrow CGI. So it sounds like we may get some type of trailer drop for the new Mortal Kombat game tomorrow. And if we have a short little CGI trailer, that would set up for more information to come at that Sony PlayStation Showcase next week. And of course, while I'm recording this, the Mortal Kombat Twitter account decides to go ahead and announce that the video is coming tomorrow, with this tweet here just saying tomorrow is a new dawn, and a video saying it is time, May 18th, 6 a.m. Pacific, which is 9 a.m. Eastern. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see what we actually get revealed as far as like a new title, if this will be a reboot and just be called Mortal Kombat 1, or maybe they're just going to title it Mortal Kombat. And next we have some video game sales information, and this is coming to us from Circana, who used to be called NPD. And this is a group that tracks sales in different industries. And right here we've got some video game information, and they've got a chart here with the projected US total market spending on video games and year-to-date consumer spending on video game content, which would include hardware and accessories, fell 2% when you compare that to the same period last year. And they also have a chart here of the April 2023 game sales. And of course, I have to remember that Nintendo's digital sales aren't included in this. But we've got quite a few new entries here. You can see Jedi Survivor coming in first place, along with another new entry, Dead Island 2, at second. And a couple of other notes I thought were interesting is that Hogwarts Legacy is still doing well at number 6, and that does not include the PS4 or Xbox One sales, so I'll actually expect to see this move up the chart for May. Another interesting point, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is in at number 8, and that game was really hard to find, at least the Switch version was for a while, but it seems like they've started making more of this, and you can find it pretty much anywhere now, so I wonder how well this will do in the long term. And Minecraft Legends coming in at number 11, which was a little bit lower than I thought it would come in. But it did release in the middle of April, so we may see a bit more sales for the month of May. And the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 bundle coming in at number 14, which seems pretty successful to me for an old set of games that got a new facelift. And then finally, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp at number 15, which again does not include the digital sales, so that's a pretty good successful launch for a game that got delayed for pretty much a year. And of course, these sales are based on dollar sales and not based on units sold, which could explain why that Final Fantasy collection did so well, as it's one of the higher priced games here. And then just a quick look here at the year-to-date sales. You can see Hogwarts Legacy still at number 1, with Call of Duty Modern Warfare still at 2, and Resident Evil 4 still at number 3. But you can get some perspective of how well Star Wars Jedi Survivor did, coming in at number 4 and just getting released in this past month. Along with Dead Island 2, these being the only 2 games that got released in April. And you can see how April was sort of a quiet month when it comes to just big name releases. And as we move into May and June sales numbers, I imagine we're going to see a lot of the big heavy hitters move up the ranks. And I'll have to wonder if there'll be anything that will dethrone Hogwarts Legacy. You might think Tears of the Kingdom would, but they don't include the digital sales. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Tears of the Kingdom be the best-selling game in May, but it may not take that overall top spot for the calendar year. And then finally, just a little quick note here about a game I kind of forgot about, but once I thought about it, I was like, man, I can't believe this is going away, and that's Pac-Man 99. Now, Pac-Man 99 was an online game that came free with the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. And you can see the announcement here from Pacman.com. Pac-Man 99, which is currently available as a benefit for Nintendo Online members, will soon be discontinued. And then they have sort of a breakdown of dates as they wind the service down. On August 8th, they'll discontinue paid custom themes. And then on September 9th, they'll discontinue the Pac-Man 99 Deluxe Pack and the Pac-Man 99 Mode Unlock. And then finally, on October 8th, they'll discontinue all of the online services for the main game and distribution of the main game and free custom themes. And what makes this shutdown so bad is that there was actually paid DLC for this game. For example, there were extra skins where you could play, I think, in like a Galaga theme for Pac-Man. Now, they do say that there is an offline mode that's single player that you'll still be able to play, but the whole point of this game was to race around the maze and stay alive longer than anybody else. And the game was quite successful. Back in November, it had reached over 9 million downloads. But the discontinuation isn't the first time something like this has happened. Tetris 99 as well as Super Mario Bros. 35 were also discontinued. But as far as I'm aware, neither one of those had any DLC for them. And I guess it's just one of the consequences for a free online game. There's not really any revenue available to keep the servers up and going. But take this as a word of warning. If you see something else that might be a free online game and they have DLC, you might want to think twice about purchasing it, as you don't know quite how long the game will be around. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? Make sure to leave a comment below and let me know. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. Less than 10% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed, so it would help the channel out quite a bit. I want to thank you for watching and be good.